Several years ago, we had a family gathering at Thanksgiving, and everyone pitched in. And one of my relatives decided that she was going to cook, guess what? Canned green beans. Now, how exciting is that? Stay tuned, and I'll tell you. Welcome to All Things Food. I'm John Woods, and I love to cook, but I cook to love. And I really enjoy cooking side dishes. In this series of videos, we're going to explore some of the great side dishes that will go with any entree from A to Z. So let's talk food. I'm going to tell you the rest of the green bean story. We had all these wonderful festive dishes at the dinner table, and someone cooked green beans. They were so delicious. I'm going to share that recipe with you today, and these green beans have become part of our family tradition, and there's hardly a week that goes by at my house that we don't cook these at least one time. So let's get started. First of all, you have to have green beans. It doesn't need to be anything special. These are just canned green beans. In fact, those are the Great Value green beans from Walmart. But let me tell you a little bit about the canned green beans. If you think you need 2 cans for your family, double it and do 4. So we're going to take the green beans and check to see if they're salted or unsalted. That is important. If you have salted green beans, please don't add any salt until they're finally finished. But we're going to take the green beans and we're going to pour those right into our little pan. And here we have a few options. If you want these to be totally vegetarian green beans, of course don't put any meat into it. If you want to kick this up a notch, down in the South we use a lot of meats for seasoning. Bacon, you can use ham hocks or even a bone with ham on it. Several things that you can do to give this a little more southern flavor to it. Today we're going to use bacon. So I'm going to put that right on top. Nothing fancy to this. There's 2 of them. 3, and this is hickory smoked bacon, by the way, which is really good. Oh, I got an extra piece, so might as well throw that in there too. So at this point, I can actually start cooking. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the burner here. I have it on high heat, and we're gonna bring this up to a rolling boil. Now, here are a couple optional ingredients that you can put in here. If you want to put a little bit of chicken base, you can. That gives it a little more flavor to it. If you want to add onions, that's an option as well. Add chopped onions to it. Now, there's some things that you do not want to do with these green beans. You do not want, one, to put a lid on these. Cook those without a lid. We're going to bring them to the boil, and we're going to bring them to a simmer. And we're going to cook most of the moisture out of these. The second thing you don't want to do is stir these. Do not stir them, it'll break them up, it'll ruin the recipe. And then third, you do not want to salt these until the very end. If you salt these now, they'll be really too salty. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna bring these to a boil, as I said. After they come to a boil, we're gonna reduce them down to a simmer, and we're gonna cook these completely until almost all the juices drain out of the pan. I'll see you in about an hour. So it's been about an hour. I've come back and we turn this down to a simmer, and you'll notice, I'm gonna try to tilt this pan. Let me turn it off here. Almost all the moisture is completely gone from these beans. In fact, they're absolutely perfect. There's just maybe a little bit down there in the bottom. So I think they're ready. So it's time to test these. This is always my favorite part. And remember, we didn't add any salt. I didn't add onions to this. Really, the only thing I put in here was the bacon. So let's see how they taste. Really, really good. So my relative that said she was gonna cook green beans, thank you. This is one of my favorite green bean dishes. Thank you for watching All Things Food. I hope you learned something today. Hit the subscribe button, like us, and I'll see you next time here on All Things Food.